what I'm hearing you say, let me articulate it, from what you're
Sure.
saying, is
Sure.
that you're saying they understand the business challenger, but they probably today are working in silos. Okay. Or they may want to work in a interconnected manner, but the real challenge is unable to do that because they may not be the best specialist in that area. Okay. So how does the CMO of the future then manage this contradiction and balance this and get the best out of his partners or her partners?
So I think a very, very interesting point, Swami, that you touched it in which I think I should have covered before, but good we are actually having it. See, marketing today and marketing going forward is becoming a micro specialized function. It is not a generic function. I'm a social media specialist doesn't work. I'm a brand manager doesn't work. It has to be within social media what you do. Either you are a campaign manager, or either you are a matrix manager, either you are a buyer for that particular media, either you are a content syndicator. It has to have a micro specialization. World is moving towards micro specialization. Nobody, and you'll see from 3 years from now, the way the technology is getting into the entire particular marketing, and the way the concept of real true concept of market, not only in terms of reading an article or understanding a podcast of market, but real usage of market. Look for it, because there are very lot of different nomenclature to market to every particular, and it starts not with the agency, it starts with the marketing department first. It has to have a micro specialized department in every form and format that look for it. Now, if that is the ask, then the agency tomorrow or agency of today has to also change their entire narrative the way it is. It can't be okay. I have 20 best creative writer doesn't mean my audience today for my online is very different. Going forward, tomorrow, I even for a digital space, I would have 3 or 4 different narratives for the same creative, because it doesn't work. I don't have to just do a edit job and all, because the audience were different. The way today consumer, the way today audiences look on an Instagram is very, very different from the way they actually look on a Facebook. Or the audience of Facebook will not be the same replica on LinkedIn. How do you need to move across? Today, if you really want to see people who soccer is going on, the amount of involvement that you need to do, you have to be very different from it. So now coming to the point in terms of how does the agency actually needs to look for, the point is very valid what you said. They understand, but nobody is ready, because it's silo working is one particular part. Everybody is running their own particular agenda with the entire brand is one, my objective is one, but I'm actually being treated in 4 or 5 different ways to look for. In a classical way, which I give an example was, I have a throat infection, fever and all, but I am giving a separate treatment for fever. I've been giving a separate treatment for my throat ailment. I have separate treatment for something else. I am the same person. So the
Okay.
point which I was actually drawing is that there has to be, and that's what I always expect that, and there's a unified briefing format, and there's a unified briefing platform which I use it, and I believe in terms of using it. Anything that has to be developed from anything means anything, whether it's an event, whether it's a PR launch, whether it is to do with digital, whether it is to do with social, with content, all have to be briefed together, and I want to see a plan together. Whether you work for whatever agencies, but it's a very, very difficult task, I'll be telling you, because you have the teams. I would have attended some meeting, but it becomes very difficult for the teams to actually coordinate with so many people to get a file. But end of the day, I want to see a one unified plan. I'm not interested, because my customer set remains the one. It is not different and bifurcated in different plans to look. Agencies are not geared up for that. They're not geared up for that in terms of doing it, and that will actually change. Because also one thing which is very important, Swami, is the nomenclature of agencies will also move and change. And reason is, it's also already changing in most. I am not interested to have or pay a hefty amount in terms of what I am not required to do that if I'm not getting an integrated solution. And that's why the traditional agencies, whether it's your media agency, digital agency, creative agency, now there are sub bifurcations of content agencies and all. I need one agency who can stand up and say, boss, I will give you an integrated marketing plan, and the brief that you actually do. You evaluate me on the integrated marketing plan. How do I do it from a backend is my problem. You don't have to get into it. Today, the challenge is, even from a biggest group that you work for it, if you want to get all the people together from its humongous staff, it will take at least good 2 weeks to get people on board. That will not work today, and that will not work in the future also, because by the time you decide, and if you will not do it, somebody else will do it. And there are a lot of startup agencies who are coming up and saying, boss, whatever we do, you tell me your problem. And I was very happy to interact with one of the agencies. Said, sir, you give me your 5 problem statements and give me your timelines and give me what is the touch point that you want to do. How do I present is my problem. Don't pay me till the time if one of your objectives or metrics are actually been. Nobody has the guts today, Swami, to stand up and say, well, this is a conversation, I do it. Normally, the conversation starts as, boss, I provide you media specialist service. Fine, it is good for you to provide today. And when the world is moving towards micro specialization, your agency partners should be much more ahead in terms of providing that specialized. If you don't do that, then you're actually out of the race. The loss is not for them. The loss is for the brand, because then you need to reinvent everything inside that you want to do in your organization.